As we were in the need of a new tabletop, I decided to build it myself, and for me the go-to main material was HPL plywood. I knew from earlier projects that this material was very long-lasting and sturdy, so it was perfect for the tabletop. As you can see here in the pictures of my earlier builds, I always try to use the plywood pattern as a design element, and I still really like the look of it. But on this tabletop I wanted to do something different and decided to give it a hardwood frame out of oak. Here you can see even the tabletop of my workbench is made out of plywood. I made 2 samples to figure out what the final design of the frame should look like, and here you can see the profile I wanted the final frame to have. Since the oak slats were a bit crooked, I couldn't use my table saw and used the router table instead. I made sure that the parts had 0 play and made a test piece. While I had 0 issues with the shorter parts, the longer parts were a bit of a pain in the ass. Since they were over 2.50 m long, I even had to open the door of my workshop to get them on the router table. Since the slats were so long and also a bit crooked, the routing process wasn't perfect and I ended up with little burn marks on the slats, but I was able to remove them with the low angle hand plane. So the last step on the router table was to add this little groove, which will be glued to the tabletop later. After a little cleanup, I set my table saw up for the miter cuts. Since the slats were so long, I had to remove my rib fence and my router fence. Like I mentioned earlier, the oak slats were a bit crooked, so I had to build a little jig to clamp them down. Because the length of the slats, I couldn't do the next step inside my workshop and had to go outside. I clamped the slats on this little jig I made and cutted the grooves for the insides. If you're interested in this little jig, you can find a short about how to build it on my channel. As miter insert I wanted to use these little walnut pieces, but to achieve a good fit I first had to make a cutout with the Forstner bit. And after that was done, I could start with the glue up. Putting on the longer side parts wasn't too hard, since I had clamps which were long enough, but I wasn't sure on how to attach the shorter side parts. So I did a little test run with the nail gun, and as it went very well I decided to put on the shorter side parts with the nail gun, glue and clamps. After that I made the cuts for the vertical inserts by hand, and then I had to plane down the wood frame to the height of the HPL plywood. After putting the tabletop on a frame, the build was basically done. And now I will spare you the footage of me taping the tabletop before oiling it, and we'll just jump forward to the good part. And as always, if you think the video is worth it, please like and subscribe.